Good evening, you're watching Otyrar News. I'm Tina Kudebergen and today we'll discuss the following. Kazakhstan is the leader of foreign investments in Central Asia. Expats and Shim City. Chinese and Russian navies begin joint exercises. State of emergency declared in Kyrgyzstan. The legendary Thomas Anders performed a concert in Shymkent. Olympic Games 2024. Kazakhstan is ready for the start. Kazakhstan is one of the leaders in attracting direct investments in Central Asia. Over the past 3 decades, Kazakhstan has attracted over 431 billion in foreign direct investments. It is the largest volume in Central Asia. My colleague Diana Idris reports on how Kazakhstan has successfully achieved this.
Foreigners are eager to invest their capital in Kazakhstan. In the World Bank's Doing Business ranking for 2020, Kazakhstan ranked 25th among 190 countries. The improvement in the business climate is due to large-scale reforms aimed to simplifying business registration procedures and improving business conditions. For example, the implementation of electronic systems for business registration and tax reporting has significantly reduced the time and cost to launch a new enterprise. The country has a favorable geographical location connecting Europe and Asia. Since ancient times, the Great Silk Road passed through the territory of Kazakhstan. Transport corridors such as China's One Belt, One Road initiative make Kazakhstan a key transport hub in the region. Kazakhstan also actively cooperates with international financial organizations. For instance, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development invested over 60 million euros in Shymkent's water supply system, with more than 38 million euros already successfully repaid. Kazakhstan is actively working on diversifying its economy, reducing its dependence on the oil and gas sector.
The main share of capital investment from January to April 2024 was in industry, 46.1%, including money and clearing, 27.7%, manufacturing, 10.8%, real estate operations, 21.3%, transport and warehousing, 13.6%, agriculture, forestry and fisheries, 3.8%.
Kazakhstan demonstrates a stable political environment, which is an important factor for long-term investments. State support for entrepreneurship and investors is expressed through various programs and initiatives, such as the creation of special economic zones with tax incentives and simplified business conditions. Currently, Kazakhstan has 14 special economic zones and 36 industrial zones with turnkey infrastructure. The national company Kazakh Invest builds relationship between potential foreign investors and the country. Thanks to its supportive environment, many major international companies are entering the Kazakh market or expanding their presence in the country. For instance, recently one of the world's largest companies, PepsiCo, announced plans to open a new potato chip manufacturing plant in Kazakhstan. The project is valued at $160 million and is expected to create around 350 jobs. Kazakh Invest representative in Singapore, Diana Ablekimova, will tell us about building business ties with this country.
Of course, Singapore is one of the major global economies, and Kazakhstan is definitely interested to develop investment and economic relations with this country. And we are quite successful in a sense that last year Singapore invested over 458 million into the economy of Kazakhstan. And this year, imagine just in the first quarter, volume of FDI from Singapore to Kazakhstan amounted to 440 million. This is a tremendous growth. And in general, over the past 10 years, the total inflow of FDI from Singapore to Kazakhstan amounted to over 1.7 billion US dollars. And the investments were primarily directed to the oil and gas sector, construction and infrastructure development. And last year, trade turnover between our countries amounted to 1.8 billion US dollars. And as of today, according to the official data, there are 162 companies with the participation of Singaporean capital registered in Kazakhstan. And besides, our Kazakh Invest pipeline comprises 13 projects with Singaporean companies that amount to over 600 million US dollars. And I would like to note that just recently, President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev paid an official visit to Singapore, just recently in May this year. And since last year, the former president of Singapore, Halima Yacob, also visited Kazakhstan. So in this way, our countries emphasize their mutual desire and interest to strengthen trade and economic ties. And in addition, last year, we signed an agreement on trade in services and investment with Singapore, which will help to expand economic cooperation and create favorable conditions for businesses of the two countries.
Special divisions for assisting investors have also been created in the main regions of Kazakhstan. Invest Shymkent LLC conducts a comprehensive set of activities to provide information and support investors within the administrative boundaries of Shymkent.
Invest Shymkent – это организация, создана при поддержке КИМа города Шымкент в 2024 году.
Invest Shymkent LLC is an organization established with the support of the mayor of Shymkent in 2024. It operates on a one-stop shop principle to attract and support investments projects. Our main goal is to promote the competitiveness of Shymkent by creating favorable conditions for innovation development, attracting investments, and creating new jobs. We have already developed a scheme of interaction with investors so they receive all necessary services.
Shymkent, in turn, holds a leading position in attracting investors among the other regions of Kazakhstan. Over the past 4 years, Shymkent has attracted 1.5 trillion in investments, and this year plans to increase the amount to 6 trillion. By the end of 2023, Shymkent invested more than 720 billion tenge, which is 126% of the level for the same period in 2022. It is planned to attract 800 billion tenge in total by the end of 2024. It is an increase of 10.4% compared to 2023. Diana Idris, Miras Ashenov, Asylbek Makhalbayev, especially for Otyrar News.
29,000 foreigners live in the third megapolis. Of this, 27,944 comes from CIS countries and 1814 are from other countries. This information was provided by the Shymkent Police Department. Interestingly, among the expatriates are many business people who invest in Shymkent and want to promote the city in their own countries. Pietro Tagliavini is one of them. The Italian first visited Kazakhstan 12 years ago while working for the Tasai company. After a few years while abroad, he decided to make a major life change and immediately thought of starting a business in Kazakhstan, specifically in Shymkent.
First mission is to I'm Italian, then I try to import my products from Italy and let know Kazakhstan people our quality, our products.
What kind of products?
We speak about food and technologies. You know, food, I always speak with many people here and everyone, not everyone, but 90% of people like Italian cuisine. So. Of course, food products, coffee, no, разные вещи. And about technologies, as you know, maybe Russia and Kazakhstan are using Italian technology for pharmaceutical issue, for filling issue.
According to Pietro, many foreign investors are drawn to the low tax rates as well as the available market segments and low competition.
I was in Almaty. I saw a lot of cities in Kazakhstan, Astana, Kokshetau, Usk-Magnitogorsk. But Shymkent, I saw in Shymkent opportunity because there are no Italians that try to improve the business here, and it's not like Almaty. In Shymkent, I decided to marketing Shymkent in Italy. So I want to show people in Europe, especially too, that Shymkent is a very good city, have very good opportunity.
Let's move on to news from neighboring countries. According to reports from the Chinese news agency Xinhua, the naval forces of China and Russia have begun joint exercises. The maneuvers are taking place in the waters of three seas: the Sea of Japan, the East China Sea, and the South China Sea. The Chinese Ministry of Defense stated that the operation has nothing to do with the international and regional situation and is not directed against any third party. The exercises focus on military simulation and tactical coordination on a map. A tragedy has occurred in Kyrgyzstan. In Osh region, devastating mud flows have claimed at least 5 lives. 800 buildings, including social facilities, have been destroyed. The Kyrgyz Ministry of Emergency Situation is searching for missing people and working to eliminate the consequences of the flooding. A state of emergency has been declared there. The destructive flood was caused by heavy rains, and the Akbura River flooded the local market and nearby villages. Residents of Osh sought refuge by climbing onto the roofs of their houses. At least 4 people fell victim to the disaster: a mother and her 3 children whose bodies were found near the borders with Uzbekistan. The search operations were complicated by the scale of the disaster. 642 houses were flooded and 94 social facilities, including schools and hospitals, were damaged. The mud flow also destroyed power lines. The Ministry of Emergency Situations of Kyrgyzstan deployed 44 pieces of equipment and hundreds of rescuers to combat the disaster. Unfortunately, this is not the first such incident this year. More than 230 mud flows have already occurred in various regions of Kyrgyzstan, claiming the lives of 17 people, most of whom were children. Earlier, in the Nutkat district of Osh region, mud flows also occurred, and Kazakhstan sent 2.7 tons of humanitarian aid to its neighbors. President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev expressed his condolences. Shymkent residents returned to the 80s. The long-awaited concert of Thomas Anders, the vocalist of the legendary group Modern Talking, resounded within the walls of the Shymkent Ice Palace. Prior to the concert, the Answer had an interview with Otyrar, and I suggest you to watch it. Some people thought the concert might not take place at all, and some even suspected that a look-alike might show up instead of Thomas Anders. However, the people of Shymkent were able to confirm in person that the performance was indeed by the Thomas Anders of Modern Talking. All the devoted fans and admirers of the 80s legend attended the concert. Bahadjan Baymuzaev recalls how at 15 he first saw the distinctive duo of 2 young singers on television. Since then, he has continued to listen to Modern Talking songs, but now with his own children.
Увидев группу Modern Talking,
seeing Modern Talking such vibrant and free with accessible lyrics all about love and no vulgarity, we are simply amazed that such music and this disco style existed.
Anticipation, roaring ovations and applause, and then he appeared on stage, the idol of millions and the legendary frontman of the most successful pop group in music history, Modern Talking. At the concert, the artist performed the timeless hits of the group as well as singles from his new album. The audience reaction spoke for itself.
Очень хорошо, молодец.
Thomas is great, super.
Did you dance?
Yes, I danced.
After the energetic concert, the organizers thanked the artist for his visit to Shymkent and presented him with a golden microphone with 3 diamonds on behalf of the city's residents. In gratitude, Thomas Anders performed 2 of the audience's favorite hits, Sherry Sherry Lady and Brother Louis, as encores.
Thank you so much.
hours before the concert, the legendary singer spoke with our filming crew. We asked him if he ever gets tired of performing the same songs year after year and how he managed to keep things fresh.
Yes, in a certain way it is, but I'm a really lucky guy because I have so many hits and so many songs, and I can choose. If I'm tired of one song, you know, I put it out of the program, and in the next program I will, you know, put it in, because I'm changing my program every 2 years. So every 2 years there will be a new program. And what I'm doing then, that I'm not getting tired of the big five, I will say, the big 5, 6 number ones. It's always a different arrangement.
How do you think, Mr. Anders, modern talking songs remain relevant today, and why do people keep returning to them? They're so popular still. I grew up on new songs too.
Yeah.
And I still do listen to them.
I don't know. You know, there must be something in these songs. I think that these songs are very commercial in a positive way. That means that you can sing along with it, and the lyrics are not that complicated. And you know, I think the combination of song and voice is perfectly made. And you know, I had one story, you know, that maybe it brings it clearer to you or to the viewers. When my son, now he's adult, but when he was a little boy and he was 3 or 4 years old, he was in the kindergarten. And I picked him up one day, and there were some kids coming out of the kindergarten, and they were singing Sherry, Sherry Lady. And I said, wow, this is it. Because even if kids, 3 or 4 year old kids, can sing the song, you know, this must be something very special.
You're my sun. I keep it shining everywhere I go. You're my heart. You're my sun. I'll be holding you forever. Stay with it together.
The large-scale concerts have already taken place in Astana and Almaty. Now Thomas Anders is preparing to perform in Baku and then plans to tour the Baltic states. By the way, a week before Thomas Anders arrived, Shymkent was visited by another 80s legend, Liz Mitchell, the lead singer of Bonnie M. Our correspondents managed to interview the singer personally after her concert.
What a fantastic night!
But even though I have arrived under stress, my heart is for the audience, and I'm trusting that we, together with my colleagues, will be able to deliver a good show for everybody.
Undoubtedly, Shymkent is becoming increasingly attractive to international artists year after year, thanks to the growing number of tourists drawn by the city's ancient and rich history, its culture, and of course, the delicious food. Tina Kudaibergen, Konstantin Yunusov, Asylbek Makhalbayev, special for Otyrar News. The flame of the 32nd Summer Olympic Games will be lit in Paris on July 26. The best athletes from the 206 countries will gather and compete in 32 sports. For many of them, this is not just a competition, but the main event of their whole lives. My colleague Daria Zofakharkaza is covering the theme.
The Kazakhstan national team is prepared for the competition. Dozens of the country's top athletes, including the Wimbledon champion and winners of the previous Olympic Games, have been tirelessly training throughout the year to pass rigorous selection and secure their desired spots.
On the international stage, Kazakhstan will be represented by 80 athletes, 12 of whom are from Shymkent. Among them, canoeist Sergei Milyanov is no stranger to the Olympic Games. At the previous Olympics in Tokyo, he placed 12th.
Осознанно подошел, подготовка идет планомерно, хорошо и с большим задором.
At the Tokyo Olympics, I wasn't as focused. Now I'm approaching the competition consciously. My preparation is going according to plan with a great enthusiasm. I'm really looking forward to the start. I know Kazakhstanis believe in us and we will show a decent result. I really hope for the support of the fans. I'll try to show everything I'm capable of and fight for medals.
In addition, many other Shymkent athletes have earned their spot on the team after winning gold at recent Asian Games. This includes Nikita Chiryukin, Alhan Sızdykov, Sergei Tokarnitsky. The national team includes many renowned athletes who have already shone on the world sports scene. I would mention Wimbledon champion Yelena Rybakina, Olympic bronze medalist of judoka Yildoz Smerov, French Open quarter-finalist of tennis Alexander Bublik. It is important to note that for the first time in history our country has won quotes in breakdancing and badminton.
What about the coveted Atlas medals? These Olympic Games will feature truly unique medals, designed inspired by Eiffel Tower, a symbol of Paris. But each medal will contain a piece of this 19th century landmark. It's not just a reward for sporting achievements, but a piece of history, of France that each champion will take home.
The design of Kazakhstan Olympic uniform has also been revealed. Notably, the budget for the uniform is sponsored with clothing made by Spanish company Joma. In the first photo, you can see the uniform of our flag bearers, complete with traditional headgear, buruk and saukile. The primary colors chosen are midnight blue and cyan, representing the Kazakh flag, along with national ornaments that showcase Kazakh culture. It's worth recalling that Kazakhstanis were also involved in the design of the uniform. On March 26, the Ministry of Tourism and Sport proposed 6 options, one of which could be voted for.
In January, a large commission was created, which included world and Olympic champions. At the first stage of the competition, 8 designers participated. As a result, we chose sketches from 6 uniforms, but none was suitable, so we organized the second stage. We eventually selected the uniforms shown to you today. We promise the clothing will be of good quality.
This summer's competition in the French capital are being called the most stylish Olympic Games. Social networks are actively discussing the outfits of participating countries, and Vogue France dedicated a cover to this event. BBC gathered the most notable team outfits from 8 countries: Canada, France, Great Britain, USA, Jamaica, Portugal, Japan and Netherlands. Foreign media are also admiring Mongolia's uniforms. The intricate outfits were developed by new Mongolian fashion brand Michael and Amazonka. Дарья Зулфхарқызы, Мирас Ашенов, Асылбек Махалбаев, special for Otyrar News.
That's all for now. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.